Hey guys, so you might be wondering that the quality is a little bit not as good as it usually is, and the audio may not be as good. That's because I'm filming on my computer today because I am going over a lot of information, and I just wanted to make uploading a little bit easier, and I can still get the information to you this way. It's easier through the computer. So I have a lot to go over with the Sebo X4. I will be giving you my full review by the end of this, and I do have a lot of information to go over, so this might be a little bit of a long video. I will not be doing any editing during this video. I'm going to be giving you my unbiased review. I am not paid to say any of this, and I did pay for this machine myself. I have no biases for or against this machine, or this company, I should say. So, uh, I also want to say the tests I am mentioning, I have links down in the description to each of those videos because I am not doing any editing during this video like I did my Shark Apex video. This is just straight from me. So I will also make this so then you can kind of see the machine itself. So you want to talk about a few things. So I have my notes here just to kind of guide me through this. So if you don't know what the Sebo X4 is, or you don't know what a Sebo machine is, Sebo is a premium vacuum company that makes high-end and expensive machines, and they've been doing this for about 40 years, or since the 80s. So Sebo, it's not an old brand, but it's not a new brand, per se. So let's go ahead and get into some of these specs. Starting off, the machine weighs 16 pounds, and it feels a lot heavier than that. Actually, this is not a light machine. It may look fairly small, and it is quite a small profile, but this is by no means a light machine. It is fairly hefty. And my Shark Apex is also 16 pounds, but feels much lighter than this machine. So I also want to mention that. And on your arm, it weighs a lot. Even though all the weight is in the base, which is good, this still weighs quite a bit, and there is a lot of weight on your arm, so it will wear your arm out. So the weight distribution on this machine is fairly bad. However, it does have another point is it does have a very low profile. So if you have low furniture, you're probably going to like this machine, as it's only, I would say, at its tallest point, 5-6 inches off the ground. So that's nice. I also want to mention that this can lock, so then you can lift it over door thresholds and stuff like that. So it does lock as well, but I usually don't have that in place. The cord length is 40 feet, which is very, very good. I've had no issues with that. I can plug this in the furthest outlet and still clean my entire downstairs, and plug this in the furthest outlet upstairs and still clean my entire upstairs. In my house, you really need to have a minimum of 30 feet, and 35 is preferable, and 40 is just great. And the cord is of very high quality. I have no complaints about the cord. So this is a bagged machine, so if you prefer bagged machine, this is great. I will not get into this discussion of what's better, bagged or bagless. It is all preference. Whether you prefer bagged or prefer bagless, go with each of those machines. If you like bagged, this is great. This does take, I do run genuine Sebo bags in it, and I will get into the expendables a little bit later. So this does take bags. So let's go ahead and also mention the power of this machine. I did not test airflow, as airflow it cannot always be accurate. I did test suction though, and for me, the suction of this machine was 70, which is above average, but at the price of this machine, I expected more, especially from, I will mention some other brands. Dyson gets well over 100, about 115. Sharks get 90s and 100s. Bissell's get about 60, and this is about 70. So average, I would say, is about 60, and this does have 70, so it's slightly above average, but in this price range, I would consider it below average. And the noise level. The noise level of this machine, it is a fairly quiet machine, but it's not the quietest machine I've tested. I did not specifically test the noise level, but I would say just below 80. It's not, maybe about 80. It's not bad, but it's not extremely quiet, but it's certainly manageable. I'm not mad at the noise. So let's get into the pickup test. So I do have a link to this video down in the description. On the carpet, it did fine, except it failed the flour and sand. And on hard floor, it did horrible. Despite having a squeegee in the back, it failed the hard floor, and it was properly adjusted. I did give it time to automatically adjust, and it failed all of it. So it got 3 out of 10, so it failed my pickup test. Kind of disappointing. Next test I did was deep clean tests. There is also a link to a live stream I did with these machines, and you can look in the chat of that stream. If you skip to the end, it'll show all the chats, and you can see the different machines and how they performed. This machine got an 84%, which is passing. I consider about 70 the minimum for passing. So it got 84. It did beat the Miele, with the Miele getting 79, but the Dyson and Shark still did do better. Dyson got 94 and Shark got 100. This did get 84, so it does pass, but it's not anything spectacular. The build quality on this machine, I have to say, is some of the best I have ever seen. It is extremely well made, and I have no doubt that this machine will last a very long time. I'm guessing about 10 to 15, maybe 20 years. This machine is just built so well. I do want to mention that I do have a stress mark on mine. I don't know where that came from, but I do have a stress mark on mine, but nothing on this vacuum is broken. It would take a lot to break this. Very, very strong plastic. Most of the machine is plastic, but it's very strong plastic, and it does have metal where it counts. Like the handle and the foot pedal also does have metal on it, and that is a commonly worn out spot. I also want to touch on the foot pedal. The foot pedal, it's a little bit odd. It took some getting used to. Most foot pedals are on the left. This one was on the right, so that was a bit odd. And the way it comes back is weird. I didn't like it at first, but I adjusted to it. It's not something you would really notice if you own this machine. Going back, it is a bag machine, and it does have caps to seal the bag off. I do wish that it was built in like Miele bags, but these are slightly cheaper per bag than Miele bags, so I would understand why. I typically keep my bag caps in the machine so that I never lose them. I just do not have that at the moment. I don't have them in here at the moment, but I typically do. Okay. So build quality is great, and one area where I really notice the build quality being good is the wheels. These wheels roll extremely well, and just the wheels feel German. People talk all about how German quality is the best, and I would say German quality maybe is the best, but that doesn't mean that other quality is bad. So I'm not saying that other quality is bad, I'm just saying that this is built very well, and I don't think that this will break. And these wheels are very well made. There are 3 of them, and I did oil them, so then they do spin very well. There are 3 wheels, and they are just great. While I'm at the bottom, I'll go ahead and show you. It has 3 ingest bars, and it does have a little door, so then you can check if it does have any blockages. But and then you have your brush roll. Next up I want to talk about filtration. This passed my filtration test, and I would actually say that this is the best filtering vacuum kind of out there, or at least that I know of, and that's mainly because it does go through a bag, which this possibly is a HEPA bag. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe this is possibly a HEPA bag. So it goes to a bag, and then it goes to a filter, a large filter, and this is a hospital grade filter. This is hospital grade filtration, better than HEPA. So it goes through a large filter here, and I also like that it's not just one little thing at the bottom, so then if the bag fills up, it weighs on top of it. This, as the bag fills up, it might clog this, but you still have all the rest all the way up to the top. So this is really thought out and well designed. Also, I want to mention that you cannot close the bag door if the filter is not seated right, or you do not have a bag. You must have a bag to put it in. If you try to put it in with no bag, it won't let you. You have to have a bag in, and bag changes are very simple on this machine, which I do like. A lot easier than the Miele, in my opinion. Sorry, it is hard to do this one. Okay, there we go. And I do like that it's not just like a click on, it's like a latch. You have to lift up this, which I do like, and it does feel much sturdier than the Miele, and I like that the bag door comes off, unlike the Miele as well. I am comparing it to the Miele because that is kind of what this does go against. Alright, so, and it does have another filter, right here, this is more of just a filter to catch carbon dust. This isn't meant to filter anything. You can see it is full of carbon dust. I do wish that, although it is not necessary, as I've shown that it does have great filtration, the filtration will be in the video in the description, and it is titled Preparing for my Sebo X4 Review. I do show the filtration on that machine, along with the Miele's, and this did pass. The Miele's passed as well. So this is really good at filtration, and it does all the filtering before, all the main filtering before it gets to the motor. And that means, because if you notice, it will have a pre-motor filter, or the bag, and then it will have a post-motor HEPA filter. This has all the HEPA filters and hospital filters before the motor. So that means that the motor is going to last longer, and less dust will get through the motor. And when I opened this up, I found nearly no dust in that motor, which is really, really good. Okay, next I want to talk about the Tangles. So this has no anti-tangle brush designs, which anti-tangle brush designs do work for the most part. But this I found to be below average. There is an average where, you know, they tangle. This tangled a lot. It did not do the worst I've ever tested, with the worst I've ever tested being the Dyson DC14 with its helix-looking brush roll. But it didn't do as good as the Shark NV352 or Shark Navigator Liftaway, which I would consider the Shark Navigator Liftaway pretty bad with tangles. This did worse. In fact, let me look at the brush roll. Yeah, there is hair on this brush roll. I don't know if you can see that, but right there, there is hair on this brush roll. But they do make it, Sebo does make it very easy to clean out your brush roll. You just push this button and get this cap out. This cap can be hard to get out. Well, there we go. And then it just pulls right out. So then you can take the hair off, which is great. I do like that about this machine. It does take some fidgeting to get back in, and then you just put your end cap. I am struggling with this machine today. There we go. Got it. So, that is that. Okay. I want to talk about the did I mention I wish that this had a pleated filter? Not that it's necessary, because I know it works, but I kind of wish that it had a pleated filter. That would kind of be nice. Next I want to talk about the main feature of this vacuum, which is the automatic height. I found it worked fine, but I found that it did not dig deep enough into the carpet, which is why, if you notice, the Shark NV352 and Dyson Ball Animal 2 did better than this machine in the deep clean test, and those have floating heads. This does have a height adjustment, and it's an automatic height adjustment, but if this machine dug deeper in the carpet, it would clean better. And I have done that by cheating the system, by doing this, so then the automatic height adjustment would think that it needs to lower, and then I'd put it down and then clean the area that it's struggling with, and it would clean it just fine. But it's not practical, so the automatic height adjustment, I just wish that it dug a little bit deeper. It is cool that you don't have to change the height, but I think it needs to be redone and maybe a little more exact. Okay, next I want to talk about the ease of use of this machine. This machine gets pretty low marks for ease of use, and let me explain why. It is a heavy machine, and it puts a lot of weight on your arm. It also has a narrow cleaning head with no swivel. Now, usually, I like narrow cleaning heads, like the Shark. Like, pretty much all Sharks have narrow cleaning heads. But all Sharks have swivels, which makes them easy to use. But this has a narrow cleaning head, which means you have to make more passes with a machine that does not swivel, and that's heavy on your arm as well. Doesn't really make sense. So, this machine, I personally would not want to use for too long. It it does wear you out. The ease of use gets pretty low marks. I want to talk about the attachments, okay? The attachments, it comes with a crevice tool, upholstery tool, a wand that's built into the back, and a dusting brush. I don't have a dusting brush specifically, but I have used one, and it was fine. But all the attachments are nicely integrated into the back of the machine, except for the dusting brush, which just goes on a bracket up here. I thought that should have been thought out, and I know on the newer Sebos, like the D4, it is integrated into the machine, but that really, that's something that really should not have been overlooked. So I thought that was a little bit odd. It works, but it's a little odd. So I also want to talk about the hose. I'll put down the machine. Also, just realized that this slides up and down, which is odd. I want to talk about the hose and wand. The hose and wand, also with the cord hook, it does swivel up and you can grab it all at once. I do like that a lot. Great feature. The hose and wand, you just lift it, and the hose is in the wand, and it locks in. And if you want to remove it, you push this button, and it comes the rest of the way out. I do like that it does have a taper at the end, so if you're going to get a clog, it's going to be here. And this is just a plastic wand, which is fine, with a plastic hose, which is also fine. I found that putting in the wand was a little bit odd, but I did get used to it, and this does just slinky back in. I don't like that. I don't like that it slinkies back in. I think it stores neatly, but when you're using the attachments like this, if you are like using the upholstery tool, for example, if you put it in, it's going to try to suck back in and you're going to be fighting it. So I did not like that. Now, you can lock it, but it's still not... You do have to work at locking it, and it's still not all that pleasant. And I actually have not verified. Can you use the attachments directly on? Yes, you can. Okay, want to make sure that you can. So you could do that as well. But I do like the crevice tool, nice and long, great quality. But this dusting brush, this upholstery brush, I was extremely impressed with. In all my upholstery brushes, this is the best upholstery brush I have ever tested. It performed the best, left the best lines on my couch, and picked up the dog hair the best. Now, stuff does get stuck in here. There are a lot of channels and stuff, and these plastic pieces in here feel quite weak, but I guess that's okay. So, although the design of this may not be great for stuff getting stuck in it, it cleans extremely well. I highly recommend this tool. Alright. Let me go ahead and try and get this machine kind of back together here. Also, want to mention, when you put the wand in, the hose does not get stuck, so you can just pull it straight out. Okay. Alright. The cord got a little bit messy. And I think that'll be okay for now. Okay. So yeah. Great, I think the attachments on this are fine. Okay, next up I want to talk about repairability. Repairability is excellent. This thing repairs very easily because it was meant to be taken apart. Now, it may not be as easy to repair as like a Bissell or something, but for a high-end machine, and especially compared to the Miele is not easy to take apart. This machine, very easy to take apart. You literally have a button right on the front that lifts the main body of the vacuum off. That I can't really do right now because that's just too much work. One button, and then you got some screws, and it was just meant to be worked on and meant to be serviced. which is great. So, repairability is amazing. I also want to mention the parts are very cheap. A Miele brush roll can run you about $100 because it comes with the belt and everything. This brush roll, $25, $35. Really cheap. And really, you don't really need to replace anything else, but if you do, parts are very cheap. Okay, so I want to also talk about this. This machine has no swivel, no brush roll shut off. It has no fancy features other than the automatic height adjustment. It does have a brush roll check, so it'll tell you if something's caught in the brush roll, and it will tell you if it has a clog. But overall, there's nothing really special about it. Sorry, I'm looking over the notes to make sure that I did not miss anything, because I do know that I did have some stuff in here that I may have missed. Oh, a power button is up the top, in case you're wondering. Okay. Thought I missed something. Again, no editing in this video. You can go watch my Shark Apex review. That I do need to redo that, but you can see all the editing. I do usually do editing in these reviews, but I'm not doing it for this machine. So yeah, no fancy features like a swivel, brush roll shut off. There's no like lift away if you're doing upstairs, if you're going upstairs or you're going around the ceilings. This is a heavy machine to lift. All these features can be found in a $100 Shark, which I might add performed better on carpet, performed better on hard floors, beat it in the deep clean test by a lot, can do everything that this machine can except the automatic height. I am so sorry, I need to quickly do something. So if a Shark, $100 Shark, does everything a $900 Sebo can, that's a little bit odd. I really want to make that clear that there isn't anything this machine can do that others can't except the automatic height adjustment. Its cleaning is fine, but nothing really else. So I think one of the main issues is this design is too old. It's 30 years old. This really isn't keeping up with the times. With all the new stuff, like anti-tangle, we got Shark's Duo Clean, we have this lift-off, lift-away technology from Bissell, Dirt Devil Shark. We've got, like, just swivel and brush roll shut off and these basic features that other machines have that this one doesn't. I think that's a little bit weird. And I was told that all those things were in the Sebo Felix, and I agree. Those things are all in the Sebo Felix, like a swivel, which I want to add that the Felix swivel is very useless in my opinion. It swivels the body, not the head. That's not useful. But they tried, and they added a swivel, which I do give them credit for. So they added a swivel. They added a brush roll shutoff. But they took away the automatic height adjustment. That's a little weird. So I have yet to find a Sebo with everything that Sebo can offer in one machine. I haven't. And back to the Felix, the Felix is better. Now, I was told that this is better at carpets than the Felix by my Miele dealer and Sebo dealer, but everyone else has told me that the Felix is better. And the Felix is cheaper than this. This machine is $900. So the X4 is more expensive and worse. So that leads me to the point of, what is this vacuum for? What purpose does this serve? And I'm going to get straight to it. This vacuum has no business being $900. You can find it $800 some places, you can find it $1,000 some places. But 80% of places I checked had it for $900. I'm saying $900. This vacuum has no business being $900. When the Felix is cheaper, I don't know the exact price of the Felix at this time, and I don't want to look it up, but I do know that it is cheaper. If this machine was $400, it would make sense. If this machine was $300, it would make sense. Maybe if it was $500, maybe it would make sense. But at $900, I see no reason why you would buy this machine. Also, people have said this is a commercial vacuum. And I agree, it is a commercial vacuum. But Sebo owns Windsor. Windsor is a Sebo. Windsor is the exact same as a Sebo, except it's a different name. It's a Sebo. So why would you get the Sebo when the Windsor is the exact same thing but a different name and color? And the Windsor is $300 cheaper. The Windsor is $550, sometimes $600. So it's $300 to $350 cheaper than the Sebo. So tell me again, why would you buy this machine when you could buy a Windsor for $300 to $350 cheaper, sometimes even $400 cheaper? Or you could buy a Felix. Or you could buy a Shark NV352 that outperforms this in every single test. So, also for $900, it's a little thing that it's not really necessary, but I would have liked. A turbo tool, that would have been kind of cool. For $900, I don't feel like you get a lot. That's kind of the bottom line. For $900, you don't get a $900 machine. You don't get a $900 value with this vacuum. You get a $300 value, $400 value. You don't get a $900 value here. I see nothing on this machine that makes this $900 other than the fact that it's made in Germany, which is cool, but not necessary. I don't really know. Last thing I want to talk about is expendables. Brush rolls do wear out, but that's every couple years. Main expendable is filters and bags. Bags, 8 bags is $25 or $27, around there. I paid $16 for mine on eBay. And these bags are fairly large. I don't see you filling up 8. I mean, I think this would last you, depending on what kind of dirt you have or how much dirt you have, I think this would last you 2 years, a year, or maybe a year and a half. Really depends, but some people it might only last 6 months. I don't know. Some people might go through a bag every single time they vacuum. Really just depends on your usage. But average house, I'd say, maybe 2,000 square feet. Maybe 1,000 square feet of carpet, 1,500 square feet of carpet. You're gonna go through, probably one bag will last you about 10 uses. So calculate that up once a week. It's 5 bags a year. And so I'd say about a year and a half on the bags. And the other thing is the filter. It's $25. And I would say after you go through a box of bags, after a year and a half, go ahead and replace that. So it's going to be about $50 every year to year and a half. I don't think that's that bad. Of course, a bagless vacuum is better because there's almost no expendables or the occasional filter replacement every 4 or 5 years. So it will add up, and you have to think $50 every year. If you're keeping this, 10 years, that is $500. If I'm doing that math correctly, right? Yeah, $500. right? Yeah. So $500 every 10 years, $1,000 every 20 years. So it does add up. It's not horrible, but it does add up. Better than the Miele, man. Miele post-motor filters are $50, and 4 bags is $20. This is much better than the Miele expendables. So, they do add up, but it's certainly one of the better machines, especially because it's bagged. So, bottom line is, I see no use for this vacuum. Except if you're using it in commercial use, in which you should get a Windsor. If you want this machine for whatever reason, that's fine. But if you want to get one to use, like in a business or something, or even your home, if you really, really want this machine, get a used one like I did. I paid $300 for this one used. Or get a Windsor. It's going to be $500-$600. It's a little more expensive than a used one, but you can get one new, and it's not $900 new. It's $550, $600. So, yeah, I think bottom line is I think this is a good vacuum. Not a great vacuum. I think this is a good vacuum that has no business being $900, and I see no purpose for it. I will plan on getting a Felix in the future, and I want to get a Felix because this machine very much disappointed me in nearly every test. That's just the thing. Also, I did do a Miele and Sebo versus Dyson video. I vacuumed with the Sebo, then I vacuumed with the Miele, then I went over it with the Dyson, and the Dyson crushed both of them. Just want to let you know about that. I'll leave a link to that video in the description as well. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm usually much more positive. This machine was just not impressed. It was not impressive. I was disappointed. So yeah, thank you for watching this, and I hope that you learned something. And please stay away from this machine unless you are purposely buying it or can get one for fairly cheap. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Make sure to like and comment, and, let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you think. Please tell me if you think I'm completely wrong. Let me know. If you have an opinion, please have facts to back up your opinion. Please don't just leave your opinion in the comments. Have facts to back up your opinion. Because I have facts to back up everything I said. If you notice, everything I said pickup test, I compared it to other machines that did better. Deep clean test, I compared it to other machines that did better. And worse. Everything I did, I had facts behind it. So, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.